then the role playing, the thing that I've enjoyed hearing these stories, whether it was Brian Smith, Zach Gerard, or someone else, and they go in there and they're like, hey, we did a role play. Ian told us, make sure you say this way. And then they go run the appointment, right? Because you guys role play real scenarios.
Yes.
Like, here's the scenario I'm dealing with. And they go to the appointment and they said this way. And by the way, I got a contract, right? So like, I think one of them was Brian. He was like role playing on the way to the appointment. You want to talk about that one?
Yeah. So, I mean, we're about to go over objections, and the reality is most sales training would be as in-depth as we could get on this podcast, which is just talking about a generic scenario and how to overcome a sort of general idea. But what we do in the community is like, what's this actual situation? What are you actually going through with this one person? What do you know about them? How do you feel like they would respond? And then we get to focus on that exact scenario, which is, it's how people are actually locking up contracts, because it's not just like, oh, I think I can conceptualize that for this deal. It's like, no, I should say that for this person.
Yeah.
So that's
because they're bringing it to you with the seller's information. Like, they've done the intake call.
Yep.
They know, they have an idea of how this appointment is going to go.
Yeah.
And they're role playing based off the information they're feeding it to you.
Exactly.
And that's how they're more prepared.
Yeah, exactly. And what in Brian's instance, I don't want to get to too much of his specifics in his work, but he was driving to renegotiate for a seller finance deal. And the person he was talking to wanted interest. So all I'll go into for him, because I'll let him explain it at another time. But that's the thing he was going through. And he wanted to figure out how to present this conversation around interest. And we prepared. I was like, all right, come up with 2 scenarios. He was driving there, right? We didn't even know on the call he was driving. We just knew he was in the car. I said, come up with 2 possible things that would make sense, and then I want you to pitch them to me. So he did that, and I heard his things, and I gave him a little bit of feedback, and I said, okay, now I'm going to do my version of it to you. We did that, and he's like, great. All right, do that one more time to me, and he did it back, and after I did it to him, and he's like, great, and he flipped his camera around. This is on a live role-playing call in the community. He's like, I'm here. I pulled up. I'm going to go in now. I'll let you guys know. And he updates the community and goes, he took option number 2. Like, we just literally, on the drive up to this home, we role played the scenario. I think there were maybe 9 or 10 of us on that call. I worked with him directly on this. And then he just got out of the call, went in, did what we just did, and fixed the problem.
Yeah. If you enjoyed what you just watched, make sure you hit that subscribe button so you never miss another video.